Good morning, soul friends. This is my first of many to come coronavirus yoga live streams. I guess now is the best time to give some context in case you're looking at this from, the distant future, since this will be recorded. As of about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, tops, the public stage has become aware of coronavirus, COVID-19 specifically, if you're into specific types of things, that has been spreading across the world at an alarming rate, and it's been labeled a pandemic by the World Health Organization, by the United States government, by so many groups that are usually relatively slow to claim such things. And so Michigan, the state that I live in right now, has closed down all gyms and public gathering places. Restaurants, you're not allowed to go in and dine in unless you have a specific permit as a restaurant to do so. I'm also a DoorDash delivery driver, as of right now, just to be able to make some money. And it's been really interesting traveling to these different restaurants and seeing how these different groups are preparing for these things. And there's a genuine sense of panic in a lot of these areas where the social isolation that people are putting into place to protect themselves, social distancing is the term that people are grabbing onto, is good in the sense that it'll help to decrease the exposure rate, but I know that there will be some consequences for that. Connection with human beings is a central part of what it means to be human. And so as we go into these times, I'm reaching out to you. I'm reaching out to as many people as I can to bring the light of an old tradition, ancient tradition really, yoga, into your home, so that my personal outpouring of light can greet you wherever you are, no matter how dark. And you don't have to be religious. You don't have to be on the yogi path. You don't have to know all the stuff that I'm talking about when I do this sort of thing. I know, though, that there's some universal truths to yoga and a bunch of other religious disciplines that apply so well to this situation, where we have crisis, we have confusion, we have death on a larger magnitude than we're comfortable with. So as I go through this series, however long it may be, is basically however long I'm forced to stay in my basement here, I'm going to be sharing wisdom that I've found to help people cope, to help people understand whatever they can about this situation, and grow, and breathe, and calm yourself by taking your nervous system and cooling it off, because it's plenty excited right now. There's times for warming up the nervous system, getting really intense, and heck, we might do that at some points just to be able to do it. But this is primarily, for now, a way for us to gather together in calm and peace. So I hope you're into that. If you're not, maybe maybe you should be. But it's up to you, really, how you feel about life. So to begin, I think the best way to open is the simple way. I'm going to chant Om 3 times and project a radiating energy of love and goodwill and healing to the world. I'm going to choose that my energetic field be projected out to harmonize with the energetic field of the earth. I don't expect you guys to be able to do that just like automatically, and I'm not super great at that sort of thing because I'm still relatively new to the whole yoga and energy work field. But that's my intention. And so, as I do so, feel free to join along with me. It's always an invitation. It's not necessary, but imagine sunrise here in Michigan, sunrise wherever you are, as we all chant together. What kind of an impact that might have on our collective psychology and the psychology of others around us. We can become beacons of healing in keeping ourselves centered to help others keep centered in such trying times. Alright, let's begin. You don't really need much to be able to practice yoga. I've got a block here for anybody that might have one at home. I like to have a cushion or a pillow to elevate my hips for certain poses. Having some blankets that you can fold up is another really good option. But really, you could just do it in your bare feet on some dirt. So these are just luxuries. To begin, it's very important in the very early morning to warm up. We're going to be doing this with some techniques I learned at my yoga teacher training over at the Expanding Light Retreat in California. I'm also going to mix in some other stuff. So inhale. Exhale, bringing your arms together in front. Now, tensing the muscles. Exhale. As you tense the muscles in the movement, relax at the height and the breadth of your motion. those knees and arms. Gets you to pump some extremity blood out. Now, bending your left leg, you're going to flex and then extend. Flex while tensing, relax at the top, extend while tensing, relax at the bottom. This will warm up our knees and our calves, part of our feet. One more. And rotate the ankle in one direction. You might hear some pops, that's okay. Just don't do it to a point where it hurts. And change direction. And change legs. Remember to tense while you do the motion and relax at the top and bottom. And breathe. And now ankle rotations. Our foundation is very important to work with in yoga, so I like to have it well warmed up. And change direction. I like to spread my toes while I do this and flex them sometimes. It's up to you. And back down. Next, we're going to do some spinal rotations. So bringing your arms out in front of you like this. I'm going to guide you through the first one, looking back and around, pointing your hands behind you, pulling it back as if you're pulling an arrow like this. And then back behind you. You don't have to go as far as I go. In fact, you might be able to go farther. I'm not the most flexible person in the world. And you're going to be tensing as you pull, keeping your hips and your feet forward in this case, so that you can get some lumbar spine rotation. And this will warm up your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and a little bit in your shoulders and arms. And remember, tense and relax. 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 One more. Tense and relax. Tense and relax. Now some shoulder warm-ups proper. Put your fingertips on your shoulders and you're going to move your elbows, but really you want your shoulders to be the things guiding the motion here. You're warming up those rotator cuffs, because when you put some weight on these shoulders, it's very important that they not be cold joints. It's a little bit easier to lose your balance when they don't have their fluid all fresh and warmed up. And then change direction. Feel the breath. Feel the burn. Feel the energy. And relax. Next up, put your hands on your hips and you're going to slowly, with tension, with strength, with muscles a little bit tense, rotate your head in circles as if you've got a pen on the top of your head or a laser pointer, and you're drawing little circles on the ceiling. This will warm up a bunch of the different muscles in your neck because you're introducing that tension, that engagement in your neck. And then go the other direction. Don't forget to breathe. the neck this time. And make some bigger circles. We're not going to the point where you're causing pops and cracks, but I understand if that happens. Just go back a little bit. Ease up. Reduce the range of motion. Relax the neck muscles a little bit more. And find the point where this is a relaxing massage and not a painful experience. If that takes going slower, do that and change directions. I have an old neck injury, so I spend a little extra time on my neck warm-ups. Because trust me, guys, you don't want to injure your neck. Recently I was doing a headstand and it brought it back quite a bit. Alright. Now there's a really interesting warm-up. It's kind of advanced. It's weird if it's the first time you've done it, but I really, really like it because it gets some things flowing in your body that are otherwise very hard to find. It's called the 20-part body recharging exercise, and it involves tensing and relaxing different parts of your body in sequence. There's a particular sequence starting from the foundation to the top, and then you relax from the top to the bottom. So first, there will be tense and release for each part, and then it comes back down. Then, the second phase is to tense and hold, tense and hold, tense and hold, tense and hold. As you work your way up, and then release, 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 kind of like that. It's gonna be difficult to work it out perfectly, but any attempt along the way to that pursuit does good for you. So just stick with it and try. I know it's basically impossible your first time, so you're good. So starting with your left foot, you're going to tense the muscles in the whole foot. So it's kind of like making a fist with your foot, even though that's not possible. And relax. Gradually tensing the right foot more and more and more and more, and relax. It's important to visualize this like a wave where you're tense, 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 tense. Relax, 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 relax. Because if you just do boop, boop, then it's kind of jarring to your muscles. Then the left calf, we're going to tense. And I know it's impossible to see, but I want you to feel in your leg sort of like a heat or a vibration or a shaking when you hit the maximum point. So we're trying to go from so relaxed it feels good to like, so left leg, tense, tense, tense in the calf, and relax. Right calf, tense, 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 and relax. Left thigh, tense, really vibrate it, and relax. Right thigh, tense, 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 and relax. Left buttock, tense, tense, tense. Ooh, felt something pop. And relax. Right buttock, tense, 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 and relax. Lower abdomen, so roughly from the navel down, you're going to tense, 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 and relax. Upper abdomen, so navel and up. It's good to breathe during these too. Tense, tense,
tense, and relax. Left chest, tense, 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 and relax. Right chest, tense, 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 and relax. Left forearm, tense, 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 and relax. Really vibrate. Right forearm, tense, 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 and relax. Left bicep, tense, 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 and relax. Right bicep, tense, 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 and relax. Left side of the neck. It's really difficult to do these if you've never done it before. Try to hold your fingers on your neck, and you can even hold your left hand against your head. Hold it still, and then push against your hand with your head. That'll engage some of those muscles on your neck, and that'll help guide you toward flexing and sort of extending, as it were, on this side, those muscles. So, you can hold it there if you have to, or you can just go for it. Left side, tense, 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 and relax. It's okay to have a funny face. Right side, tense, 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 and relax. Front of the neck this time. Imagine you're trying to pop a vein out, but don't. Tense, 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 and relax. And then the back of the neck is a little bit different. You're going to relax your neck down. Allow that spine right here to expand and release a little bit. And then putting your two hands on your medulla oblongata, or the base of the skull, you're going to inhale with a double breath, exhale with a double breath as you press against your fingers and engage the back of the neck. So double breath in, double breath out. And that's a way of engaging the back of the neck in a healthy way that's isolated. You're not pushing with all of your force. You're just waking it up a bit. So those are the 20 body parts. I wanted to give a good foundation in the first video for anybody that wants to go back and look at it. But it's going to go a bit faster in our later days in the sequence. So now, second phase, we're going to do all 20 body parts, keeping them tensed throughout the series, and then relax them one by one as we go down. Ready? Have some good posture. Work out your wiggles. Relax. Now, double breath in. Tense the left foot, left calf, left thigh, left buttock, right buttock, lower ab, upper ab, left chest, left forearm, right bicep, or left bicep, right bicep, left neck, right neck, front of the neck, back of the neck. Double breath in, and double breath out. Relax the shoulder, relax the neck, relax the front of the neck, relax the back of the neck, relax the right bicep, right forearm, right chest, left chest, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, right buttock, right thigh, right calf, right foot, left foot. Now double breath in and tense the whole body. And release. It should do some interesting things to your energy as you practice this on a regular basis. That kind of intentional awareness really improves your bodily awareness during yoga and a bunch of other things. Thank you for bearing with me during the different warm-up from normal. And now I think we're about ready to do our basic practice, but our hips need to be warmed up before we get into a balance pose. So shifting your weight onto your right foot, you're going to rotate your hips using your hip muscle right here to do the lifting and the turning. I like to keep my hands free and just sort of let them rotate as I do this. Some people like to have their hands on the hips. It's up to you, whatever's easiest for your balance. Shift your weight to your left foot. Oh, I didn't change rotations. Now change directions. You can imagine you're doing some kicks while you do this, but that's going to increase your range of motion, sometimes too far. Whatever's comfortable for you. Coming back down. Now, the other side. And remember to breathe. And change direction. And relax. Nice. So, our first pose will be Vrksasana, tree pose. It's one of those fundamental poses to yoga. It's what a lot of people think of when they think of yoga. And it's because it works on your foundation and your balance in a way that looks cool, but it's so effective. So let's get this one down right. You're going to shift your weight to your left foot, and you're going to bring your hip open, pointing your right foot as close to a 90-degree angle as you can without forcing it. You don't have to overdo it, so you can go 45-degree angle if that's good for you. Then you're going to bring your heel up against that foot here to create a kickstand. This support here will allow your hips to open up, and you can stack your weight over both hip joints lined up with your feet. And inhale, sweeping your arms up, palms to the sky, chest open, shoulders down. Keeping that hip open, keeping your hips engaged on the left side and right side. Tree pose. This you should be able to hold for a while. Perhaps 20 seconds even. But if you're looking for more of a challenge, you can bring your foot up to the calf, engage the hips, make sure they're rotating so that they're square to the ground, and that you're elevating, lifting your light up, making sure that your hip is opening and engaged. Don't put it on the knee. If you're looking for more of a challenge, you can bring your foot to the point above your knee and the thigh. This is what a lot of people think of when they do tree pose. And then engage the knee with a soft bend. Engage the hips with a lifting. Straighten that neutral spine. Make sure the neck is a part of that column. And grow it up with your shoulders relaxed. And breathe. There's an affirmation that goes with this. I am calm. I am poised. I am calm. I am poised. You can say it mentally or out loud. If you're looking for the traditional Vrksasana, the old style, it's in fact to cross it over. Whoop. Lost my balance for just a second there. Cross it into the crease here, keeping the foot engaged, making sure that your hips, my hips are not quite open enough to do this right now. Maybe if I'd warmed them up a bit more. Then lift up there. So you don't have to challenge yourself like this every time, but it's something that you have an option to progress to as you advance through your practice. I usually stick to this guy because honestly, you can open up your hips and do some really nice things with a stable support if you're not forcing yourself. And I can feel the energy a lot better this way. So I'm going to finish mine out here. You've probably been doing this longer than you're used to, but release. Now we're going to take some time in a neutral pose, mountain pose. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Your shoulders are above your hips, which are above your feet. And your arms can go either palms facing forward or palms facing your hips. I prefer palms facing your hips because it allows you to release the tension in shoulders quite a bit more, which is how I'm using mountain pose most of the time. Give a soft bend in those knees, not too deep, and feel where your hips are. Feel where your legs are. Feel where your feet are. That length of tree pose should have done something to your body, and it's probably different on one side than the other. Close your eyes, tune in. How does that feel? Inhale. Relax that tension away. As you shift your weight to your right foot this time, bring your left foot open. Make sure that you've got engagement on those hips. Bring it to a kickstand. If that's what you're working with, that's what you return to when your feet start to hurt, if you've got some growing muscles there. Or bring it up to wherever you like. Inhale. Exhale. Pick a point off in the distance, a fixed point on the wall, or an object, to keep your balance. It helps quite a bit. And remember, as you're doing this hip lifting right here, you want it to be square and engaged so that you're lifting through the whole neutral spine and growing up like a tree. Your foundation is strong, like the roots, pulling those nutrients, pulling that energy up to the branches. You can even stretch your nerves in your chest open with this pose if you engage those arms and reach those quite a bit more. It's a completely different pose when you really engage your arms as well. And remember to breathe. If you need to come down to kickstand, do so. We're going to keep this for quite a while. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, coming back down to the ground. You probably feel this one too. Scan how these two different sides may feel different or similar. Tune in to where that is. Breathe. trying to find out how to take these muscles that have just been woken up and allow them to dissipate that tension and energy that you just brought there. And as you dissipate it, imagine that it's a buoyant force, a buoyant light, effectively, that naturally lifts up and releases out to the universe. Because it is a buoyant force that naturally lifts up and releases out to the universe. It's just something you can't normally feel or notice unless you're tuning in. Try and relax the thighs and the feet in mountain pose. And you'll find that that helps you tune into a proper foundation in your feet, because you can't relax your thighs unless you've got a really well supported foundation in the hips and feet. Moving on, we're going to wake ourselves up a little bit more in our lower quarters. This is a bit different from other traditions' expressions of chair pose, but chair pose can be really great, and you can learn to love it, I promise. If you inhale, come up onto the balls of your feet. So you're not bringing your toes all the way up like this. You're not going like into a crazy dance move. You're just coming up a little bit off of the mat. This is to engage some muscles in the backs of the legs to protect your hips and lower back as you engage by bending those knees a little bit, keeping the spine neutral. I'm going to double check my alignment here. Shoulders back. And bring yourself down a little bit more. So, keeping this neutral spine, you're going to have some natural curvature in the lower back, some natural curve in the neck, rounding right here. And this, when you hold it for a good long time, is going to wake up your buttocks and your thighs. Thighs especially. You can go a little bit deeper if you're not challenged enough. Believe me, it'll get real challenging if you keep it down here. And breathe. Breathe with the diaphragm, allowing your stomach to expand and contract. Sorry about that. Then there's a second phase, which if you have any knee injuries or vulnerabilities, I encourage you to avoid. You inhale, exhale, bringing your hands to the crease between your thighs and keeping your legs engaged and not resting on your heels or anything. Keep it down here, keeping your knees together in front of you, don't splay them wide. And balance. This will engage your toes in a new way. This will engage all kinds of muscles, including your thighs, in a really good way. And breathe. Then to come out of the pose, inhale, exhale, sweeping your arms up, maybe stepping forward a little bit as you do, and then come back to neutral. I love chair pose. The affirmation to go with that is, my body is no burden, it is light as air. Tune in and relax the part that is engaged. Release that tension wiggle a little bit. These neutral poses between these active poses really help with getting your joints and your muscles to reinvigorate and engage some fluid in a return uptake fashion. That engagement in the knees during the second phase of that chair pose requires some relaxation to let the fluid back in immediately thereafter. So I like to give a good 30-second plus to these neutral poses. Sometimes I'll go faster, sometimes I'll go slower. It depends on what I'm feeling today, and my knees definitely needed that this morning. So, moving on to our next pose. I'm going to do Ardha Chandrasana, which is a side bend in the spine. It's hard to see, so I'll turn sideways at first. You're going to put a slight bend in the... you're going to lift your heels up slightly, not too far again, while your feet are close to together. They don't have to be touching, but you want them closer than before. So to do Ardha Chandrasana, it's going to be kind of hard because my hands are going to be up here. You're going to loop your thumbs together and keeping your hands in a plane like this. Up overhead, mine will have to be bent quite a bit, but yours can be more like this. You're going to relax your shoulders down while you do it. And you're going to do a side bend with your hips lifting and leaning into the motion too. It's important that when you do this, you don't collapse into the side body like this. You want to be lifting through this motion as if there's a beach ball that you're trying to reach up and over. You're not trying to go that way, you're trying to go that way. Ready? Inhale, lifting up onto those balls of your feet, interlacing those thumbs. Inhale. Exhale, release the shoulders as you bend to your left. Reach. Relax those shoulders to keep it open. Imagine your body's between two panes of glass. You can't go forward, you can't go backward. That way you're protecting your spine throughout. And breathe. Come out, inhale, and exhale. Come back into mountain pose. Tune in to where that just activated some muscles. And relax. Once you really start to be able to release these things, it's going to have a really nice calming effect on your whole nervous system. And I can feel it starting. Because with those side bends, your nerves in your spine are going to be reaching out into your organs really heavily because there's tension and activation happening all throughout your torso. Try and see when you relax the tension there, how it feels in the general sense. It's neat. Now round 2, feet together. Inhale, interlacing your thumbs the other direction this time. Keeping those feet sturdy, back neutral, spine elongated. Inhale, exhale as you curve to the right this time. Deepen with the exhale as you relax, not forcing it, but relaxing deeper. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, deepen the curve. Inhale. Exhale. Tune in. Feel the present moment. Feel your body as it is. Remember your body as it was and check the difference. What changes? What feels different? Then relax and return that energy as you breathe. Nice. Then we're going to do warrior pose, just to show you a couple points of the alignment. I'm going to start facing this direction. You open your feet out about 2 to 3 feet apart, depending on your experience with warrior pose. You're going to have some nice open hips, and so don't overdo it. Don't go too far. You can always stop in the middle of a pose, bring your feet a bit back together, and then start back over from the start. It's better to do that than to stay too long and sort of start an injury process over time. So, feet apart, bring your bring your left foot forward. Doesn't matter which way you're going. But in this case, left foot forward. And your right foot will have some tendency to come forward toward your midline in order to keep your knees in proper alignment. So if you bend your torso to line up with your leg, so that you're looking straight down at your foot along your leg, and you bend your knee and your back knee, your knee should line up with your toes. It's very important that you protect your knees during warrior pose, because a lot of people keep their foot all the way open, and it's because they just don't bend at the hips. They have their foot here and they bend through their knee. Over time, it's a bad injury waiting to happen. Just bring your foot in a bit, unless you're really experienced, in which case do what you need to do. Elongate through the torso. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, bend your front knee, making sure that your knee doesn't track past your ankle. You want to protect that knee since it's out in front like that. Keeping your arms up like that. I'm going to do this one more time from the side. Starting with that triangle square. Open. Check your knee alignment on your back knee. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, bending my forward knee. opening those hips, making sure that those hips open like this, and then plant through the feet on both sides. Keeping a soft bend in both knees, or your back knee at least. And exhale as you lift the head as if it's being pulled up by a crane. And stretch the arms out to the distance of the universe. You should be able to feel some tingliness if you're stretching those nerves. As you breathe deep. If this isn't challenging enough for you, you can work your front knee forward and deepen. Make sure, though, that you've got nice open hips to be able to do that, because you don't want to rotate through and cause hip injury. Come out of the pose. Inhale. Unbend that knee. Work your heel forward. And relax. You can stay here, or you can bring your legs up by slowly working up to the center. Don't do it all at once. And inhale. Exhale as you feel the difference. I like to close my eyes to be able to put my focus visually on the part of my body that I'm feeling needs to relax. So I imagine that body part in isolation. In this case, tops of my thighs, and a little bit on the backs of my thighs. It's different for everybody, even different for the same person on different days. So I'm tuning in, changing my foot posture, changing the bend in my knees, changing the alignment in my spine, relaxing my shoulders back and down. As I breathe and relax that tension. So, going into the other side of warrior pose, open your feet up to about 2 to 3 feet apart. For me, I'm going to go a little bit further. You do what's safe for you. You'll be able to hold the pose longer or go a little bit deeper after you start. It's better to start lower. In fact, I'll do that just to teach better. You're going to open up your right foot to the right. I like to do a test bend. You're going to bring your toes in a little bit. Make sure you're opening with those hips. Then, check your knee alignment. It's good. Inhale. Exhale. This actually feels really good for me. This is like a good hip opener. I'm not overdoing anything. It allows me to feel the nerve stretch in my arms, the spinal twist in my neck. It's able to keep this quite a bit more active. My hips feel relaxed, and I can still feel some of it in this leg here. It's not bad, even when you can, to take it easy in these less engaged poses and feel how you feel in them. And if you hold them for a while, I think you'll find that you can improve your form in the more quote-unquote advanced expressions or deeper expressions. Because it doesn't matter how good it looks, it matters how you feel. Inhale, unbend that knee, bring it back, and relax. Just a moment. I'm back. Allow those tensions to be released. If you make a practice of breathing intentionally throughout the yoga practice, I think you'll find that it engages certain parts of your body better, and it's going to improve your breathing reflexes throughout your day. So, we're going to do forward fold. We're doing a lot of standing poses today because I want to engage those feet. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, bringing your hands to your thighs, keeping a soft bend in the knees. Keeping your spine in a neutral position. Exhale as you bend at the hips. We're going to do just the first active phase before we relax and go down. Inhale, elongate through the spine. Exhale, deepen the bend at the hip joints. Exhale, a little bit deeper, soft bend in the knees. You should be able to feel it starting in the hamstrings. And if you ground down and push your feet to the floor, you're going to feel it deeper in the whole hamstring rather than just up at the hip joint. Inhale, exhale, a little bit further. Now we're going to come up, inhale, relax, inhale, exhale, back down to that active first point of resistance there. Inhale, exhale as you release the lower back now. Inhale, exhale as you release the middle back. Inhale as you release the upper back. Keeping a soft bend in the knees. Keep breathing as your back rounds. And you inhale, lengthen, exhale, relax. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. Breathe. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, inhale, elongate. Exhale, inhale, elongate. Exhale, and then come back up. That's a way of protecting those hip flexors. If you're feeling lightheaded, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Forward fold should be very relaxing, which is helpful in times like these with coronavirus. If you ever need to relax really badly, I encourage you to do a few forward folds with your breath. So if you inhale, exhale, you'll find yourself much more relaxed after something like that. It does some neat things to your spinal nerves. So, now that we've done some forward folds to extend, or rather to flex the spine forward, we're going to do a backward bend called Muktasana, or freedom pose. So, you're going to step your left foot forward and your right foot back. Doesn't have to be far. In fact, for me, this is a little bit too far. I like to have about 1.5 to 2 feet for this one. If you need it a little bit further, you can step back after you try. It's just important that you protect your hips and your Achilles tendon as you do this so that you don't overstretch in the very first thing. So, inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead. You're going to keep your hands separate. I know you can't see it in this camera, but you're going to keep your hands separate as they reach up to the sky. And just so that I don't hit the ceiling, I guess I have to go a little bit further back. Keeping your hips square, headlights pointing forward. You're not opening up to the right here. You're going to ground down through your back foot, pressing the flat of your foot down and the heel into the ground. Your front foot is also spread so that your foundation presses through your whole feet. Inhale. And then exhale, bending that front knee a little bit to about vertical. And then inhale as you stretch up and back, up and back. Grounding down through the back leg helps to elevate and lift that right hip in this case as you deepen your back bend. make sure you're flexing, or rather engaging, your abdominals to protect your core muscles. And breathe. And to come out, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, return, straighten that knee, bring your arms down, and step forward. You should feel it all kinds of different places, especially if you were deepening that pose. Now tune in to where you can feel it. And breathe. I tend to get quieter as sessions progress, allowing you to spend more personal reflective time in these neutral poses. Now coming back, we're going to step the right foot forward and the left foot back for our left side of Muktasana, freedom pose. Again, those feet should be lined up with the hips in a railroad track. You should press down through the back leg. There we go. In order to get a strong foundation, test that your hips are pointing forward. Inhale, sweep the arms out. Lengthen. Exhale as you bend the knee. Ground down through the back leg. Strengthen through your lower back. Tucking the pelvis forward a little bit to protect that lower back. Shoulders relaxing under the scapula. Scapula relaxing under the spine. And inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you bend a little bit further back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. And then to exit, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, relax. Now we're going to inhale, exhale, forward fold, engage that first active part, exhale, and then walk your hands out to the front of your mat, grounding your hands down, spreading your fingertips wide, and come down into downward facing dog. For you guys, I'm going to do that one more time if you're not familiar. You're going to do a forward fold, plant your hands about shoulder distance out in front of you, curl your toes under, press. As you lift your hips to the sky and your tailbone and your sit bones point upward,
Your head becomes aligned with your arms, and your feet relax as you ground down, keeping a soft bend in the knees, extending.
That's my second alarm.
And breathe. You can pedal the feet if you need to wake yourself up a little bit more. But keeping this pose for a while will strengthen your shoulders and deepen your flexibility in your legs. And it's an inversion, which is going to do some good things for your energy levels later in the day too. To come out, bring your knees to the ground, and come back to Vajrasana, a seated position. There we go. Vajrasana is just
a basic pose with your hands in the crease of your hip and your abdomen. Use it to relax. Use it to breathe. Use it to tune in to what was just awakened by downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Slow breath. Now we're going to do Baddha Konasana, which involves ideally lifting your hips up just a little bit. You can sit on top of some folded blankets just a bit. What this is going to do is encourage your hips to do the bending rather than your lower back. Some people prefer to do this on the ground, but I encourage you to try it a few times with some elevation just to see how you feel and if it feels a little bit better. So bringing your toes and your heels together, you're going to bring your hips up like this. If you need to, you can use a couple blocks, a couple blankets, or one noodle wrapped blanket through these legs here to support your knees so that they're not overextending this direction if you're feeling some tension in your hips here. I'm pretty flexible. Some people will probably only be able to get here, some here. You're not trying to force it down, you're trying to let gravity do the work. So, to engage, you're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine, exhale, bending forward at the hip. And so, just to demonstrate that, bending forward at the hip with a neutral spine, you're going to use this spot as your hinge, lengthening through here. You can hold on to your ankles by grabbing them, or you can interlace your fingers and put them over your toes if your toes are getting cold like mine. Inhale, exhale, deepen. So this elongation is really good for helping to isolate those hips. And once you've found your first point of resistance, inhale, exhale as you round the spine.
Breathe deep as you use the exhale to relax deeper. Come out of the pose. Put your feet on the hands on the ground rather. Inhale. Straighten the back. Exhale. Walk your hands back to your feet. Slowly. Then put your hands underneath your knees and lift them up with your arms. Then bring them together and hug your knees. Feeling your hips, feeling your back as you round. Flex your hips, flex your thighs, flex your back, or engage, 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 and then relax. Coming back to a seated position. Whatever seated position is comfortable for you. It could even be in a chair if you've got one nearby. Inhale, exhale, relax the tension. Sweep it up. Right now I'm just relaxing my lower spine, putting my hands and pushing up to elongate the spine and massaging that lower spine by doing some rotations. I've got a lower back injury as well, so I like to do a little extra warm-ups in the middle of my sessions leading into spinal twists, which we'll be doing. Alright, this spinal twist is supine twist, but I can't remember the Sanskrit name right now. You're going to extend your feet out in front of you, and you're going to lay back, massaging your vertebra as you do so, laying it down like a string of pearls. You might want to come up and release back down just to get that extra elongation. In a lot of people's cases, you might want to grab onto your heels, or your knees rather, and rock back and forth. Some people love that, just to prepare your spine for relaxation. Now, with both knees bent, you're going to straighten your left leg. You're going to bring your arms out into a T. Then you're going to lift your hips up and shift your weight about 3 inches to the right. That's going to allow you to rotate over your left leg as you bring your foot up onto that left thigh. Bring your left hand to your right knee. And you're going to slowly, as you inhale, And exhale, rotate through, keeping your right shoulder pressed down into the ground. Introduce a spinal twist, lengthening through the foot, down at the bottom, your left foot, and through your spine is very important here to protect your back. You're going to be going all different directions, your hand reaching out, your foot reaching down, your head reaching up, and your right knee going to the left as you slowly deepen. You don't want to be using your hand to press. It's really just there to add a little extra gravity. And you're going to feel it in your spine as you twist. Remember to keep that lower back a little bit engaged as you relax. Enjoy the release here. Let gravity do the work. Then inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale as you come back to neutral. Bend both those knees, bring your spine back to neutral. And relax down into Shavasana for a short Shavasana. As your abdomen lifts and falls, relaxing. Tune in to the difference in the feelings in your spine and your hips and wherever else it might be. Now bending both knees. Lift that hip and bring it out to extend a little bit further downward. Bring the shoulders together on the back. Bring your arms out into a T. Straighten that right leg. You're going to lift your hips up and bring them about 2 to 3 inches to the left. Now bring your left foot to your right quad. Right hand to your left knee. Inhale. Exhale. As you introduce slowly a spinal twist, lengthening through the foot downward, lengthening through the spine upward, reaching out to the left with your hand, and breathing deep as you relax. Again, I have a lower back injury, so I try to go really gentle and shallow with this one. Some people are able to go really deep, but I encourage you not to push too far, just to the first point of resistance and relax. Use the gravity and relaxation to deepen your stretch. As you exhale, you're not pulling with your hand, you're just relaxing. Big breath. And exhale as you release. Coming back to neutral spine. Bringing both feet together. Lifting that hip back up to a neutral position. And coming down into Shavasana, corpse pose. Relaxing as you sink down into the earth. And as you breathe, feeling the energy of that relaxation drift up, buoyant, toward your skull, releasing through the point between your eyebrows. As you breathe and relax. We're going to enjoy Shavasana for a little while. So if you need to grab a blanket, if you need to adjust your body, do it now. Take some slow, deep breaths as you're doing so, or if you're still in Shavasana, intentionally slowing the breath as you inhale deep. Plenty of oxygen. Relax your face, relax your shoulders, relax your upper back, relax your lower back, relax your hands, your forearms down into the ground, your upper arms, your neck, your pelvis. Releases that tension, gets heavier, your thighs melt, your knees release, your calves round down, and your heels and feet vanish away as your body slowly drifts into deep relaxation. Your awareness to your feet. See them in your mind's eye, feel them as the sensations that they have are present. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, vanish those feet away. Relax them and let go of them as a body part as they dissolve into the ether. Visualize both of your calves. See them in your mind's eye. Feel them. Feel feel how relaxed they are. And realize that they can relax even deeper as you consciously will them to do so as you slowly inhale and exhale, releasing those calves to disappear from your awareness. Tension gone. Visualize both of your thighs. See them. Inhale. Exhale, relax as they melt into the ground, disappear. Your hips and pelvis. Inhale. Exhale, release. Your abdomen and back. Inhale. Exhale, release. Your hands. Visualize. Relax all attention. No movement. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Your forearms. Visualize them. Inhale. Exhale, release. Your upper arms and elbows and shoulders. Visualize them. Inhale. Exhale as they vanish. Your neck. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Your face and whole skull. See it. Inhale. Slowly exhale as it fades away. Resume slow, normal breathing as your body's rhythm guides you to how much you need to breathe as you relax deeper and deeper. deeper as you go. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your ankles and wrists side to side as you slowly begin to wake back up into daily life. To exit Shavasana, bring your right hand up overhead, bend your left knee, and roll over onto your right side slowly. Curling into the fetal position as you do so. Take a moment to relax as the blood refills your organs. And your energy returns to your body. Then to come up, put both hands on the ground and press up to a seated position. And prepare for meditation. The best part of yoga, in my opinion.
It's nice to have a blanket. It's not necessary, but it does help you relax a bit. If you need to, use a chair, honestly. Even if you don't need to, try it out. It's better than you think. If you can put your feet flat on the ground, it's nice. Find a comfortable seated position. If you need to, you can spread your butt cheeks to get a good grounded position against a cushion. It's nice and easy when you're in isolation to do things that are sometimes embarrassing. Neutral spine. You're not stretching up in really firm, strong posture. You're in a relaxed, elongated posture. And I'm going to lift this up a little bit more. I'm going to use the second blanket. It's worth taking time to find a posture that's comfortable long term, because for the longest time I meditated in really uncomfortable postures because I thought that was how meditation had to be, and it doesn't. You're looking for a way to release your mind, to release your tensions in your body and your nervous system. So you should be comfortable. You should be effortless in whatever this pose may be. I can do it sitting like this because I've been meditating a while, but it's difficult to get to this point, frankly, for a lot of people. So grab a chair. I'm going to bring my hands into this little comfortable alcove here, the palms facing up, shoulders back, hips square, spine neutral, mind relaxed. Excuse me. To prepare, I like to do a pranayama. Nadi Shodhanam is the perfect way to do this. It involves Vishnu Mudra, where you bend the first 2 fingers of your hand and create this little shape right here. You're gonna close your right nostril with your thumb as you inhale for 5 counts. Pinch and hold your breath for 5 counts. Then open your right nostril, exhale for 5 counts. Inhale for 5. Pinch. Exhale for 5 counts. And that's 1 cycle. So inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale. If you need to blow your nose, grab a tissue. Maybe massage your sinuses like I'm doing. Maybe rub your eyes. Maybe yawn. Maybe everybody around the globe watching this video yawns. Maybe psychology is really interesting. Maybe I'm saying maybe too much. And prepare for Nadi Shodhanam. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale. Then resume your own count. Me, I'm gonna lengthen. You do whatever you find necessary.
Resume normal breath, allowing your body to guide the rhythm as you breathe in and out through the nose. Feel the breath through your nose. Feel the rising and falling of the energy. Feel the rising and falling of your muscles. As you give pure awareness to your breath, with curiosity and interest to follow that breath and how it feels the whole way through. Relax any tensions in the body. Find a relaxed spinal position that allows you to have minimal effort to keep upright. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck, relax the face. Bring a slight upward gaze to the eyes as if looking at a distant mountaintop. Feel the relaxation. Feel the breath. As thoughts arise, do not push them away. Do not see them as unwelcome. See them as natural expressions of the mind. We have things we need to care for. We have tendencies and reflexes built up. But in our practice today, we seek to neutralize the vortices of feeling, to allow the calm mind to be serene as it is, to regain its natural composure as you let those processes and those vortices go, saying, hello current, hello flow, I see what you are. Now I choose relaxation and let it go. Return your awareness to your breath. And relax deeper as you realize your return to your breath means a return to peace, to joy, to light, to Om, to divinity, to yourself. I am that I am. in the middle of meditation.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's okay. As sounds arise, as disturbances inevitably come about, and they do, allow yourself not to be perturbed. Allow yourself not to be jarred. And instead regain your composure shortly thereafter, knowing that it brings you up and down. And then choose to disengage from that cycle, where you are simply at peace. Neither up nor down, simply present. Relaxed. Calm. Aware of the breath. Aware
shoulders. Slowly begin to open your eyes. Gently at first. Hope you enjoyed your meditation, your shavasana, and all the yoga that came before it. When I do these sorts of meditations, when I really get into it, when I have all the prior work to relax my nervous system and release those tensions, it's a totally different feeling to the start of my day. And I know this is long compared to a lot of yoga out there, but if you can find your own pace and do your own yoga in the way that I'm doing my own yoga, I think that you'll find an immense amount of relief to the stresses and pains and suffering of life. It's hard to describe how it happens or why it happens, but if you pay attention to your body, if you're really listening to your senses, you can be healthier in a way that feels better. And yoga's not the solution to everything, no. But it is really good for boosting your immune system and releasing stress, which I think are two very national health issues, international health issues, really, right now. So, I hope you're a little bit more relaxed than you were when you started, and that this process is something that you can enjoy as you deepen your practice and learn more and more. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Stay happy. Be free.